What's up, guys? It's Amla.
It's Risa.
And today we are going to be reacting to a Jubilee video that you guys requested heavily. And this is 100 women deciding what is the perfect body type.
We love talking about the body positivity movement. Everybody wants to hear two skinny bitches talk about people's bodies.
Yeah, we know that's what you're actually all asking for. So we're going to be reacting to this video. It's titled, How Does Body Image Affect These 100 Women? Let's get into it.
A lot of us wonder how others perceive our bodies, and we're constantly comparing ourselves and our body types. Today we're asking 100 women to decide which person here has the best body. Every single person here submitted a full body photo for our online community to rank. Only one woman was voted best body. Let's see if they can find the one.
All right.
For this,
Okay, first of all, would you do this?
I don't think so.
Why not?
It's, regardless of what you think of your body, it seems a little narcissistic.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
so you'd be thinking, I'm thinking about too much about myself. Not from a place of insecurity. You'd be thinking about it from a place of narcissism.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing a show like this. Not that I would rank myself super highly, but I wouldn't mind showing up and like having people judge me and placing ratings. I don't think it would I don't think it would freak me out or ruin my mental health or something like that.
No, I mean, I don't think, you're not an insecure person, so you'd probably be like, whatever.
Yeah.
So like what the ranking is. But yeah, why would somebody want to find out if they didn't think positive about themselves?
I guess it's just a curious thought experiment at the end of the day. You would think if you would sign up for this show, you would be comfortable with the result. How about we preface with that?
this round, the people who believe they ranked in the bottom 10 must exit. When you do leave, please exit by pressing the counter and stepping aside. Your time starts now.
I honestly wish that society's viewing of like body types didn't change back from like the Renaissance era. My body shape is so like goddess shape. Like somebody will want me to pose for their painting in the Renaissance. You know what I mean?
I did feel
Okay, so we're already getting some interesting takes. There are, times in the olden days where larger bodies, specifically with women, are really sought after. And historically, it's a sign of wealth. If you were wealthy enough, you'd have a lot of food, which means you'd have a bigger body. And that's why a lot of the women that are featured in these paintings are larger women. Now, I guess it does speak to a beauty standard of sorts and how we might have distorted that over time. But there very much is a standard of health, when it comes to body types.
Also, why would you say it's so goddess? What does that even mean?
I guess she's saying like the old paintings of goddesses normally had very full-bodied women if you go back and look at that artwork. So she's saying that she's goddess shaped in comparison.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay.
feel confident going in. The reason as to why is because I do have a more sought after body type. I have worked for my body, but however, I will not deny the fact that genetics are heavily involved. Also, when it comes to the society ranking us, I've had a lot of comments saying that people would buy my body or people do buy my body. So when it comes to that specific thing, I felt very confident.
Like, I don't know that I necessarily feel so confident, like, oh, I have the best body, but I do know, like, objectively, do I get attention? Like, I know I do, so there's, like, a certain, like, objective to, like, what I think. I don't know.
I have to always keep, okay, so this is, what I think is interesting about this is I think with a group of women, it's going to be so difficult to actually get a clear cut, objective, concise, decisive answer. If you put 100 men in a room and you told them, find the one who's most attractive and put him on the pedestal, I think it would take like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You put a bunch of women in the room and it's like, I get a lot of compliments, or like, I don't want to speak too highly of myself. And then you have narcissistic women who really want to speak highly of themselves and nobody wants to make the other person feel bad.
And I feel like these two women went into it because they knew they were going to be ranked high.
There would be a lot of that as well.
They went like, I feel very confident. Like, okay, so that's why you went on for validation.
100%. There's going to be a ton of women who are like, trying to validate themselves and hold on to their position as much as possible. And then others who are just there to like make everybody feel better and say that everybody's body type is equal and the same, even though we're here to make a standard. I don't know. I'd love to see this played out with men. I feel like it would be faster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you walking out in round one where they say the bottom 10, and everybody from 90 to 100, if you think you're in that ranking, leave?
Yeah, I don't think that I would think that I'm in that ranking, but I would just be like, yeah, you need this more than me.
Okay.
Like, you need this validation more than I do.
Yeah,
you guys can have it.
I'm thinking like, obviously, statistically, I'm not going to be number one. So I might as well just step out at some point, you know, either in the beginning or the middle of this whole process. I'm just going to see myself out.
For sure.
I'm Jennifer.
Okay, Jennifer.
It's right next to me.
Where, what? This one? Yeah. Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Jennifer. When I first got here and I saw that I was pretty much the oldest one here, I felt really out of place. Not necessarily insecure, but just the first feeling was just, I don't belong here.
So when I was younger, I had like no curves. I was like super skinny. People call me anorexic or bulimic, and that's like not good in like the Black community, right? You want to be like thick, right? You want to be curvy. You want something people grab on. But like as I've gotten older, I have gotten curvier. It's wrong. It is.
Sophie, I
first
saw that
one.
you just left. Do you want to kind of explain why or share anything about that?
I've had a very tumultuous relationship with my body. I thought I could do this category, but the moment before we started filming, like I started shaking and I realized I was just like, I don't really know what I look like to other people. And the idea of like talking about that was like a little anxiety inducing. So that's why I was just kind of like, I'll be the first one out. Like I just kind of wanted to sit this one out.
Interesting. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think the insecurities got the best of her. She didn't want to know the real answer.
Yeah, I guess there's something to be said for you don't know what you're going to feel like until you actually show up and do the thing. But there's...
I'm wondering what the casting
process
description said.
Right. Like how much did you know about what you were signing up for?
Yeah, how did you not know that you were being ranked?
Good question, Risa. Good question. Okay. Let's see.
Although it's very tempting to want to give in to this and open this envelope because that's something I'm so used to do is comparing myself to others, I am going to make the active decision to not look at it because I don't think it'll do me any good today. So I'm not going to open this.
If I'm a producer on this, I'm going to be like, what the fuck, Sophie?
Yeah.
Like, do we have another girl ready for this casting call right now? Because what? You put in all this work to like get the 100 girls, take the photos, get them ranked, and then they're like, I'm not even going to answer the thing that I signed up for.
And I mean, she didn't even have like I feel like she was trying to make a dramatic statement as well. Like I still feel like she was making it about herself.
Yes. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if we're going to come off as being rude in this analysis of people, but...
We don't hate women.
We don't. We're just reading.
Oh my God.
I think I look great, and I'm so thankful for what my body can do, which has really helped me practice body positivity. Like, I'm mobile, I'm standing here, I can walk, I can hike, I can swim.
Yeah.
So grateful for it, but I know society doesn't view me that way. They view me as like, oh, put down the burger and go to the gym, and it's like, you don't know what I'm doing in my personal life.
Sam, I saw that you just left. Can you tell us why you did?
Yeah, so I don't necessarily feel like I fit into the standard of beauty that people might perceive as like attractive. So I see where I have some qualities, but others I don't. When I look around this room, I see all of like the beautiful attributes of every single like woman that is here. When I was growing up, I had very poor self-image, and in high school, I actually like used to keep a mental list of people around me of their attractiveness and how I rated on that scale, and I always rated myself super low, and I noted that it was extremely detrimental to my like physical and mental health, and I felt like I've gotten really good about if something starts to trigger you, you need to walk away. So I felt inclined to step back so that I could let everyone else have, you know, the stage to, you know, rank themselves.
I was rocking with Sam up until the last sentence. I'm gonna be our last couple of sentences. I was like, okay, I totally understand. She's coming at it from a really sort of objective perspective of I know what I look like and I know what society's standards are and I know I fit some things and I don't fit other things. She had me up until she said, when something triggers you, you walk away.
Yeah. I think it's very important to understand your place in society. And it's the thing about body positivity is that it just makes your body important when in reality you should just be like, this is what it is, this is what I look like, I can choose to change it or I can't, but I just need to accept it and move on.
Yeah, 100%. And if something triggers you, face it. Face it. If something makes you uncomfortable or you're feeling anxiety or depression towards a thing, face it, tackle it, try to understand it. Don't walk away from things that trigger you. I know that's like the standard in our culture now, that we're supposed to have safe spaces and be trigger warned and not really face things that trigger us, but go in it head first. And it displays so much confidence that I think transcends body image in a lot of ways. But I know it's obviously easier said than done. But I don't think either of us are completely lacking in insecurity or didn't go through phases in our lives with very deep insecurity. So it's just a tough thing to grapple with, but face it.
My modeling agency, first, they my curves. I have curves, so I have to be a curve model. I have to be more plus size. Some agencies want me to gain more weight because they're saying I want your curves to show more.
Yeah.
And if I were to do the exact opposite, lose, no matter what, because I have a chest and an ass, I could never be what's considered a normal model.
Yeah,
it will never be that. It's either curve or normal.
Right. Jennifer, can you tell us about your thoughts of your body image through divorce, if you feel comfortable?
I'm all open book. So it's not just the divorce, it's more just having to be an acceptance as you get older, because it's not, I was talking to the girls, it's not just how big you are. It's I look in the mirror and I'm holy, there's wrinkles there, or my arms, and it's just and how men perceive me. And so it's more like that. And my ex had said to me at one point, it doesn't matter what you look like anymore at your age.
And that's crazy.
Wow. And I don't know if he meant it good, but there was too many other things that just still,
No, he probably did mean it, because men get praised for aging, and women, their value goes down.
Yes. I read people really well, and so I'm it was just this constant mirror, or going in the store now, single, and when I was younger, men actually looked at me. Now I'm invisible. I didn't realize how much I used to get hit on, or I used to get looked at, or just, attention and almost that validation. And it just has altogether stopped. And I'm putting myself out there, and which is great, but it's just, or even the last 2 years, because I've gained weight with menopause. And when I see people who haven't seen me, they're used to my old body. And the look of disappointment or the look of surprise when I see people is just, it doesn't feel good.
You know what? I'm rocking with Jennifer. She is an older woman who's shown up in a group of, 100. These girls are probably all, in their 20s?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe a couple in their 30s or something like that. And she's being legitimately honest about just the way your body changes with biology. Now, some of the little tidbits about, men are praised for aging and women are brought down for aging, I think there are just innate biological reasons for that being the case. Not even to say that men are necessarily praised for aging. It's just that women tend to find older men attractive, and that's something that is clearly sought after within our society, and arguably is a standard created by women. So I have a feeling those same girls who are making that point might blame the patriarchy for that being the case, but a lot of it's just our nature as human beings.
Definitely. And she was touching about how men perceive her differently, and it seemed like it does bother her a little bit. And I think a lot of women don't want to admit that a lot of what we do for our bodies and our appearance is to get a partner. Yeah. I'm not saying it's all, that's why we do things and why we have cute outfits and wear makeup, but it is a little bit about doing that. And that's okay. That's okay that you want to be desirable to a certain extent.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of women just want to know that other people find them attractive. It's just a fact. And they'll tell you that they don't. Which is just be honest. Just be honest that you want to look attractive to other people and you do want some form of validation, and body image plays a certain part of that. And it's interesting. I like her candor. She's so candid about the fact that, I went through a period in life where I got a lot of attention, and as I aged, I saw that start to wither away, and it did deeply affect you because it is a big part of a lot of women's lives.
And so for the body image thing too, I wasn't just thinking like most people were about weight. I was thinking about wrinkles. I was thinking about this bad haircut I just accidentally got. I was thinking about more just, that. And then if it's being judged by society, I was like, I'm out first, just because I haven't had a lot of confidence in that realm.
I bet you she's going to be way higher than she would even imagine.
To round 2. In this round, we're asking you to leave if you believe your body is in the bottom 50. So that means 40 people need to leave. You guys have 5 minutes to leave the group. Your time starts now.
I feel like I have been blessed genetically, but at the
Weasel is standing 10 toes down. She's like, I can already feel the I'm number one energy from her from the moment she spoke.
Yes.
I don't know. There's something to be said for a confident woman, and you know what? I love that for you, that you view yourself really confidently, and it's an interesting space to be in as just a human being in general, that you have to balance between like not looking down on yourself and being too self-deprecating, and also not being too, narcissistic in your view.
It's hard for her not to be like, I do think I look better than the rest of you.
But that is definitely what she's saying. That's 100% what she's saying.
The other day when I went to college and I gained 40 pounds, I was the one that had to bring it back, And I feel sometimes guilty for like expressing this in a way, but I don't want to do that because at the end of the day, like, especially when it comes to like my content creation, I've been hurt very deeply because I thought I was putting out content that people would aspire to be, and then all I got was men just being like so dirty, and it's like I didn't.
Okay.
I really want to look up her content.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay. First of all, I'm getting a read on Weasel. Okay, and I could be wrong, but I don't think she feels guilty about talking about her body image and how wonderful it is. And interestingly enough, what I thought she was going to say was I was putting out all this content and thinking people were going to appreciate it, and people didn't appreciate it, or they had horrible things to say about my body. But she took the compliment that she was giving herself and turned it into a further compliment by saying what I got was more attention just from the wrong group of people that I wanted it.
Which is a total lie.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why she has the confidence that she has is because men have validated it, not because women have.
Oh, the quiet part was said out loud. Ooh, we're feisty in this one.
Didn't expect that, and now I'm trying to, change. I'm trying to be more intentional with my content, but it just sucks. Like, it just sucks.
Sure it does.
Like growing up, like people were
not the giving her a hug because she's getting too much male attention.
Oh wow.
It just sucks, guys.
always telling me like, you're so skinny, you need to eat, but I was eating and I was like happy, but that made me feel like insecure, especially from being a dancer. And then now that I'm grown, like I kind of grew into my body and I have a more mature build, and now people are like, oh, you're so curvy, like, ooh, body, and I just don't know how to feel anymore because like people went from calling me a bone to like calling me curvy.
So I feel like media is like also just like brainwashing everyone.
I think about my arms every single second of the day.
Like people literally risk their lives to have your type of body.
Exactly. Literally for this body, people go and build it. And they're real. Everything is, there's no like, I'm not getting anything bad.
I think I've grown so much more confident in how I look at my body now, which is why I was able to be confident in the fact that I'm at least top 10. I've struggled for a long time with like my weight and how I look and my proportions and whether my proportions are correct. But I've come to a place where I love every bit of proportion, every angle of my body now. Yeah, I think my body is beautiful.
But my main thing about just having a bigger body, it's really that I'm always gonna be negatively perceived.
Because like growing up, I was pretty skinny and like never had to think about my weight. I could eat whatever I wanted, never thought about it. But then I hit like 19, 20 and I just started gaining weight. Every day I'm frustrated with myself. I did.
She said, what? I'm always gonna be negatively perceived in the body that I'm in. I mean, well, 100% with that attitude you are, like you'll definitely be negatively perceived if that's the way that you view the world. And there's something to be said about the lens through which you look at the world. If you perceive yourself as having a negative perception with other people, that's what you're always going to get. And that's what you're always going to analyze. But we should also talk about why that negative perception may exist. I'm not saying that people should bully you because of your weight or people should come after you with comments because of your weight. But this body positivity movement that's selling it as if it's something that's healthy or something to be aspired to is probably what's leading to a lot more negativity, I think, in our society.
I completely agree. I think for one, if it's being negatively perceived and you can't take a look back and say, why is it being negatively received?
Right,
Like,
right.
is it actually unattractive? Is it actually unhealthy? Or, you know, you can't, but they don't. They're just like, well, people just have unrealistic bodies or unrealistic beauty standards. So that's why.
Right. And it's always somebody else's fault. And I totally understand that, like, weight is, I guess, a vice or a negative perception that is visible, and a ton of, like, skinny people in really great bodies have a ton of other vices and problems that would be negatively perceived if people could physically see them, but luckily they can't. And that's kind of a burden that you bear, no pun intended, a burden that you bear as a person who's a bigger weight, that people can actively see that on you every single day. And that's a tough thing to deal with, but it is something that can be dealt with.
Yes, and I think going back to the girl who said, oh, I could eat whatever I wanted when I was young, and now I'm gaining much weight. Like, we all could when we were young.
Yeah.
And that's just a part of life, and you have to accept that you actually should eat healthy, and you shouldn't be eating everything that you want. Like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. We have to all learn that about our bodies and control.
10 years ago, have a really, really bad eating disorder when I was in high school, and I almost died. And it's not something that I feel like gets validated very often, because people like think it's like such a non-issue to be worried about being too skinny.
I think I have a pretty good sense of self-awareness, and I know that I'm not necessarily what society deems as beautiful or has an ideal body type. I don't think that's a reflection of me, though, and how I view myself. So if it were a matter of who's the most confident in their body type, I would have stayed all the way to the end, but it's about how other people perceive us. And I just know realistically that there's obviously trolls online, and people in America just have a different viewpoint of plus-size women. So I decided to leave pretty early on.
Again, she had me until the last part. You were on it. You said, you know what? If it was about confidence, I'll be there till the end. It's body image, and there's a bunch of trolls online. It's not trolls. It's just people who are engaged in reality.
Like, she has an opinion of herself, and she has every right to have that opinion.
Yeah.
But other people are going to have opinions of you, too. So.
Yeah. And we know what that standard is, which, again, I told you, with women, it'll be so much more difficult to get people eliminated. They were supposed to eliminate 40 people. We've been watching this for how long now? And I think one person out of the 40 has finally left this huge circle that we're in. So we're going to be here, I think, a little while. Okay. '89.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I think I submitted a bikini photo, so I knew I was showing everything that I have. It's what I expect. It's, you know, society's standards, and I'm not most people's ideal body type, and I think that's fine. I think a lot of men vote in this also, and I have a fiance, and I'm a lesbian, so I don't really care what they think.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, we got a few more to leave.
It's gonna be all these views and I'm crying. My mama gonna get me. I really thought I could have this conversation with y'all, because I'm really a confident person to my definition. I go out in the world confident, knowing that I'm a child of God and I love people. But my relationship with my body is tainted. And I'm a dancer, and I express that through movements and somatic exercises that I love to move. But I am a victim of assault and rape, and I have more of a relationship with my soul than I do with my body. So to stand here and y'all are like, girl, my boobs are this and my butt is this, I don't know. I really have no clue. Like, I'm in the mirror, but I'm not really in the mirror. So I just admire all of y'all for being able to acknowledge your beauty, because I know it's here, because y'all see it. But the acknowledgement comes from the internal, so I just love that y'all are so open, because it challenges me to go home and like introspect. So I love y'all.
I can't recall even saying a word in the circle at all. I had a hyper confidence before walking into the room, like, this is gonna be easy, I can pretend. And I just couldn't get myself to muster out a single word or answer a single question. I walked away because I knew that I didn't have a relationship with my body, because I couldn't even pretend that I did.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like I said before, the whole issue is thinking that you have to have a relationship with your body, or to think that you have to have this strong opinion, or you have to love your body. Your body just is. Like,
right.
it's not that big of a deal. And I think that's the issue with the body positivity movement. It's like, it's trying to make it seem like we're all equal and it's all the same. And it's like, no, it's just like some people are funny, some people are smart, some people have perfect bodies, some people have things that are better than others. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm just more concerned with like, how do I best serve my body so that I wake up and I feel good like throughout the day, and that my body's in the best position to do what it needs to do on any given day, or it doesn't give out on me sooner than it needs to. And I feel like with women in particular, we are just constantly trying to like contort these movements to make our insecurities make sense and make our traumas make sense. And I can't speak to what she's gone through personally with SA and all that, because I'm sure that creates major issues with your body image and how you view attraction and things like that. But just with women in general, just think about like what puts you in the healthiest position, what's best for your wellness, rather than like, how does this affect the way that I look? But of course they're going to say society sort of imposes that on you. But I mean, it's not your job to just try to like bend society to your whim. It's your job to do what's best for yourself.
Okay, well, I'm going to open it because I think that why not? I'd be wondering forever, right? So what? It's 75. So I was ranked 75th. So I wasn't in the bottom 10. Okay, well, that's nice. I feel like if I would have highlighted my boobs or like done something like that, or maybe it would have been different, but I really didn't want to do that because I feel like nowadays that's all I get attention for. But I am appreciative of this because that's cool, because I saw the beautiful women here and they were all young. So I'm like, right away, I'm definitely in the bottom 10 because yeah, there's no doubt about it. But
she's like, this is awesome. I'm above 24 of these other girls. Or 25 of them. She's like, this is great.
That's gratitude right there.
That's so
cool. Thank you.
We have 1 minute left and we still need 8 people to leave.
Okay. So get it moving, y'all.
So
I would be moving out
are
at
the
this point. I'm done.
So 8 people.
See, this is what I can't deal with. My boyfriend sometimes says I have a masculine brain, like in the way that I act, sometimes in the way that I speak. I would just be like, come on, y'all. We'll walk out. Come on, 7 of y'all. If you want me to pick, I'll come and pick. I'll pick you guys at random. Just not even from like a body positivity movement, and we should all love ourselves and we're all 10s like all the girls say these days. It's just being statistically accurate at this point.
Yeah.
Raise your hand, any given person, or like close your eyes and I'm gonna pick 8 of you and we're gonna walk out of here and we'd be more than likely correct.
Yeah, let's get it moving. It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Yes, I can't deal with all the like, oh, I'm clearly not going to leave, even though you know for a damn fact you are not. Number 1.
You gotta get out. I wouldn't be doing this, so.
There we go.
5 more.
Done.
Whew. Welcome to round 3. Bodies in the entire room. However, for this next round, we're asking you to leave unless you believe you have one of the top 10 best bodies.
Okay.
So
40.
Another 40 people have to leave. Your time starts now.
Well, you're talking about how you work out, and I see those abs. Your work is paying off.
I love how petite you are. I just want to put you in my pocket.
Thank you so much. I feel like everyone was like, well, I'm like thin. I'm like, okay, realistically, in 1,000 strangers voting, they probably want like the curvier girl, I think. Someone with a small waist, but skinny, but thick.
I'm like thinking, okay, if 100 people voting or whoever's voting, the internet's voting, you're probably going to want fit, but big boob, big butt.
Yes.
So whatever that is.
It's
nice
all about
arms.
proportions.
Yeah, nice arms, good shoulders, good abs or whatever, nice legs, and then big butt, big boobs. That's just, I feel like that's typical.
And I've looked up this statistic before, and it is all about the proportion of your waist, hip, chest. So like that can look like a size 4, and the proportions can still be really good, but it also can look like a size 8, and the proportions can still be good.
That sounds about right. And you could be tall, short, whatever, but That's what people are looking for.
Okay, I actually want to say that I love that we're all melanated and we're all different shades, and it's all beautiful.
I'm trying to feel better about myself and like gain.
I can't deal with it.
Why'd you say that to the white girls, huh? Why'd you say it in front of the white girls?
Right. I just love that we're all melanated. I just love that we all come in 100 different sizes and we're all beautiful and we're all wonderful. Okay, I'm like, okay, we get it. We get it. You guys are girl bosses, and we all love each other, and we love women and support women. We support women's rights and women's wrongs. All this shit that people say these days.
Strength and just not compare myself to others, because I feel like a lot of us have even said it. It's just like we don't feel confident because we don't think someone else is going to vote for us, and it's like, well, you should think that you're just vote for yourself.
I feel like, if anything, today should tell you that you should go into modeling.
Yeah,
you have the height. You have the height. You have the body.
So how's everyone feeling? Is anyone decided if they're going to leave this round?
I'm gonna leave. She's like, can any of you get the fuck out of here, please?
It's just a straight face, no emotion.
Like, I've literally been here for hours. They are paying me a day rate. I need you guys to get the fuck out of here.
I decided, and I've decided only because I am still finding that love again that I had for my thick and curvy body, and I think definitely I need to get back.
This is not about the love that you have. This is about what everybody else thinks.
Yes, we have to be so for real right now. We have to be so for real.
Because that's when I was my happiest, and that's when I was my bravest.
Right.
And I want to be in the entertainment industry. I'm a Broadway girly. I want to be on Broadway in musicals and be perceived. And there will always be innately will be negative perception with my body, but I have to fight against it because I have to there's nothing wrong with me.
Okay, guys, it looks like time's running out, so people need to start to leave.
Hugging each other before they leave.
I love you guys.
The people who were leaving didn't all look the same, so then I started to question myself a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I got bullied into staying at some point because everyone around me was like so encouraging, like, you can't leave. I got straight up told, like, you can't leave.
She is a very beautiful girl. I do wonder, though, like, how did they do these photos? Did they just photograph people from, like, neck down, or do you get to see everybody's faces? Because I feel like that influences ratings a lot, too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they showed faces.
Okay.
I'm sure it was just about bodies, but the one lady said, oh, I sent a bikini photo, so I think they probably had an option to send a bikini photo.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you'd get a lot of variation.
You better stay. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Like, I know I have a great body. I should be confident in it.
Sorry, guys, we still need 11 people to leave. Time is running out.
It's so funny because that girl's confidence comes off way different from the confidence that I'm reading off of like a Weasel. I don't know like if you guys can also notice that the juxtaposition between those two, but there is something to be said for like a humble confidence versus whatever is going on with the other girl.
Great. Thank you. I think 9 more people have to go.
Okay. She's clearly a model. Going.
Okay, bye, guys.
Pretty.
I'm sure some of these girls were like, I'm not going to sit here and like argue with you. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Even if you knew for sure, you're like, all right, if you want to stay.
Right. Again, it just makes the most sense to go at some point.
I'd leave if I could.
She's like, please. I would leave if I could.
There wasn't really a point where I thought I should leave the game today because of the fact that society does want to have a similar body type of mine, and I am very self-aware in that. So I did feel comfortable and confident to be there until the top 10.
Okay, we saw.
Okay, now we're down to our final 10. Somehow we did it. All right, everyone, we have made it to the final 10.
She's shading them so hard. Somehow we did it. That is so funny. Like, even if you really, truly, deep down thought you were number one. I think just for the sake of brevity, you should probably just let it go. And then you're going to be revealed at the end anyways. So it's like probably a better situation to just be revealed.
10, but I just want to say that I'm really impressed with everyone's bravery and that you all are so beautiful. So thank you for participating in
She don't
this.
believe that.
You guys,
we need to read. I need a new definition of the word bravery because y'all are using it liberally. I mean, extremely liberally. Y'all showed up to a studio in LA and judged each other for like an hour, and we're calling that bravery.
And you chose to do it?
My gosh, it's like the men at D-Day. I can't.
You guys are the 10 that believe you have the best bodies in the entire room, but we do have to narrow it down to just one person. So one by one, let's go around the group and discuss who you would like to nominate to be the one.
I would say that as of right now, like I would vote Wasal. I just know that America, they like curvy, they like the slim. You have both of that, so.
Like, I feel like no body type is ever right, but like if I was to go off of like who people would vote online, I would say Wasal as well.
Thank you.
I think currently what is, trendy is kind of a slim, thick body type. So I would say Sandisiwe.
As like an African-American woman, it is known to be like curvier and it is kind of more on trend these days. So I'm gonna say Sandy.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody's saying. I think I would go with Sandisiwe just because she has like the perfect body type. So.
You guys are gonna make me cry. I mean, I don't really know much about American body standards. I didn't grow up in America. What I've learned over time is that American body standards are constantly changing. It's whatever's trending. Like you guys said, the slim, thick look is the thing, which is also why I think, girl, I don't know your name.
Wasal.
Wasal.
Thank you.
You have that thing.
I also think that Wasal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What is really interesting is that we watched as like 100 women went back and forth, and some refused to walk out or some waited till the last minute. But when it got down to like the bare bones, vote right now for who you think, there was no variation in the voting. It was 2 women who stayed at the top, and one of them campaigned the entire time for being number one. So I think had she not campaigned that hard, most of the women probably would have voted for the girl with the red braids or the red locks. So that means that deep down, all 100 of y'all, for the most part, really know whose body type is most sought after, and you really know the objective standard that exists within society, at least as of today. But instead, we just like beat around the bush the entire time.
Mm-hmm. That's women. They're too worried about hurting each other's feelings or coming off a certain way. They don't want to say it.
When deep down, you know what the real answer is.
I'm trying to look at it as just what is never leaving, what is always in, and what is always going to be like treasured or valued.
And it's me. That's what she really wants to say. I was like, whose vibe does she give me? I'm trying to think. I'm like, she reminds me of somebody, and it's J-Lo. She reminds me of Jennifer Lopez. That is really who it is. I was trying to think this whole time. I'm like, who is it that her energy is like reminding me of? J-Lo. And you guys, if you know J-Lo, you know what I'm talking about.
And that is why I'm gonna pick Eb. I've never seen a body that is just so proportionate, so I pick you.
I would say it's Wasal.
Thank you.
I think, like she said, Ebony has just a very timeless physique, but I think I just want to shout out every single girl here. They're all so beautiful. Everyone has fit the body standard at least at one point in their life, and will continue to.
It looks like you guys have reached a consensus, and the person with the most votes is Wasal. So everyone else can leave the group, and it's time to find out if Wasal is the one. So how do you feel right now?
I feel good. I feel grateful. I feel appreciated. And it's a weird thing being here because in the most humble way, I could say it makes sense. But I also have seen multiple women here that have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bodies that are also the standard to what society looks like. So that would also all make sense. But at the end of the day, like, I'm just happy to have a healthy body that moves and does what I need to do. And I'm just grateful.
All right, you guys have made your choice. It's time to find out.
I'm grateful I'm hot.
In the most humble way, it's totally me.
I knew it the whole time.
Right. Oh my gosh. In the most humble way, I ate these other bitches up. Oh my gosh. Okay, J-Lo, let's see if she's number one.
Out if Wasal is the one. All right, Wasal, if the light turns green, you are the one. And if the light turns red, it means that somebody else in this group is the one. Let's change the light in 3, 2, 1.
Look, she's thinking green, green, green.
If I look at it, do I have to show it? Okay.
That's shame right there.
Yep.
Lucky number 13. When I first got here, I looked around and I saw a sea of beautiful women with beautiful bodies. So I'm grateful to be in the top. I'm grateful to be in any part of it. So
I'm grateful to be in the top. I'm grateful to be in any part of it. The Freudian slips from this girl are so funny. Like she can't help but say what she really is thinking, which is so funny.
So that means you are not the one, so let's find out who the one really is. So please step forward, Sandi Siwe.
So they knew.
So Sandi Siwe, you were just named the one. How are you feeling right now? I see that you're kind of emotional.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people here, I have a weird relationship with my body. I grew up in South Africa, there's a lot of white people, and I went to a majority white school. I wasn't the standard there, so that impacted the way I looked at myself for a long time. And I never thought I had like a desirable body until I moved here. And when I moved to the US, I felt so much love from like Black women in the US. I stopped thinking about my thighs all the time. It used to be such a huge insecurity. I have an Audi, and I used to worry so much about like people being able to see my stomach. And it was like things like that where I started realizing some of like the things I didn't like about my body were just irrational. There were things that were beautiful, things that other people were seeking out. And instead of looking down on my body, I should be grateful for what I have. And the fact that I have a functioning body in the first place, and I have a body that I know is desirable. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here, and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on...
We did it. We got through it.
Closing thoughts.
Oh my gosh, closing thoughts is I feel like this process would have gone so much faster. if I don't know, somebody would push it along. I know
they need the man brain to be like, all right, guys, this is what we're doing. This, not you, not you, not you.
Like, just put a leader in there to just get them out of there. My goodness. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, body image is a huge thing in everyone's life. It's something that everybody grapples with to some extent or another, and we all go back and forth thinking about it. Women do, men do, and you know, at the end of the day, I think what Sandi Siwe said is really telling. You should be happy to have a functioning body. Like, a functioning body is a great thing, and the gift that you have in having a functioning body is that you can use your body's function to put yourself in the best position of like health and wellness. And that does come to affect your body image and your aesthetic and the way you look and the way you're perceived. It's just a natural fact. And we should be able to acknowledge that, not like run from it with the body positivity movement and all this stuff that's happening. Not that you shouldn't be positive about the body that you have, just we should acknowledge reality a bit.
Positive about its use rather than its aesthetic.
Right.
And I think if more people were interested in actually working out their bodies and exercising it, they would actually love what you can see. They would love what you can see that your body can do for you.
Yeah, and it'll change your whole mental image of yourself. The moment you can attribute your body to its accomplishments on a physical level. It's like such a cool thing to like be strong, to be fast, to be doing all these wonderful things. And I think it brings an appreciation for a body that you may not have loved prior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's it. I would be curious to see this done with men, and I hope Jubilee does bring together a group of 100 men and see if it goes any swifter or if we have the same sort of gender dynamic play out. I can't imagine that would be true, but maybe they'll do it down the line.
I think they will, and I'm sure that you are exactly right. They will just be like, yeah, I gotta go. And they won't be complimenting or hugging each other.
All bodies are beautiful. We support men's rights and men's wrongs. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Drop your thoughts on this video in the comments down below. What else should they do, Risa?
Like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Okay.